Hey, it's Sally Steele, and welcome to another episode of my Sally Steele Rock Show. One of the reasons I started doing this program was to document all the crazy adventures I've had in my life, and those include the early days of KISS. Back in Indianapolis, I was an outcast. I didn't have any friends, so I just sat in my room and listened to records and read Rock Scene magazine and Cream magazine. Well, in Rock Scene magazine, I saw something about this band called KISS, and I just couldn't wait till this band came to town with their big black boots and their makeup and their hair and their glitter, and I was not going to miss that show. So when I first went to the Indianapolis Convention Center, my mother dropped me off at the railroad tracks, and I started to go in what I thought was the back door, and this man just opens the door. It's like, come on in. I'm like, oh, thank you. Back then in the early days, there was nobody backstage. I was the only one. There were no photographers. There was just the roadies and the band and the promoters. That was it. And I think I saw Gene Simmons standing there, and I gave him a copy of Cream magazine. There was a tiny little picture of Gene with his tongue sticking out, and he looked at it, and all the roadies gathered around. They're like, oh wow, we've made it, Gene's in there, look, his tongue. And so Gene was really happy about that, and we started talking, and I started taking some pictures. So I would just wander in and out of the dressing rooms and mostly wait in the hallway, because when KISS would open the door and go on stage, they were in a hurry. They were excited to get out there. So I would be ready with my little tiny Kodak cube flash little gizmo, and they would come out and I'd just start taking pictures as fast as I could. And when KISS would take the stage, I would just walk right up there with my little camera and just start shooting on the stage. And one time, the roadie came over and jerked me right off there. He says, get off there! You know, because just then a big flash of flames came up, of pyrotechnics. And if he hadn't grabbed me, I would have been singed. No blonde hair here, right? Gene would always ask me my age, and I would lie every time. So he would say, well, how old are you, Sally? And I would say, I'm 17. And then he would come the next time and say, how old are you, Sally? I go, I'm 16. And he goes, well, last time you told me you were 17. And I would say, oh, okay, I forgot. I didn't want to tell him I was 14. He might not let me stay backstage. So one time I was standing next to Gene backstage, and Gene kept trying to put his hand down my shirt, and I'm like, I'm backing away, and the roadie had grabbed my camera, and he was trying to take a picture of it, and I'm like, no, my mother's gonna see these photos. But he did not succeed. And no, I was not one of Gene's conquests. And no, I was never in any of Gene's Polaroid collections. But I remember another thing that night that I had taken that picture with Gene was Mick Jagger's brother, Chris, was also on the bill. And nobody liked him. He was not very nice to anybody, including me. And I can't remember what he said, but it really made me mad, and I kicked him right in the kneecap, and he got mad and walked away. And later in the night, all of the KISS staff and roadies were coming up to me, hey, congratulations, you kicked Chris Jagger in the balls. I'm like, oh, you're welcome. I mean, it was only in the kneecap, but I didn't want to let them down. But later, Chris Jagger had come up to me, and I think he said he was sorry for whatever he said, and the roadie grabbed the camera, and he's like, oh, come on now, kiss and make up, you know. So we took a picture that night. I look like a baby. But one thing you can tell about the pictures with Gene and Chris Jagger is I'm wearing my grandmother's cameo after all these years that I wore that night. And every time that KISS would come into town, I would be there with the pictures that I took from when they were there the last time. And Gene would sit on one side of me, Paul would sit on the other, and they would be like, wow, those are great pictures. And I go, oh, thank you, because nobody else was taking pictures of them at the time. and Gene asked me to send them the photos, which I did, and he said, oh, we'll send you some cool buttons in the mail. And you know, I waited every day by the mailbox, like, what's Gene Simmons going to send me? But he didn't send me any buttons. I was really mad, but he did send me a press kit and some pictures. So I guess Gene has all those pictures because someone told me that there was a VH1 special on Kiss and my pictures were in there. So you're welcome, Gene, for the photos, okay? Peter and Ace were never really friendly to me, but occasionally they would pose for photos for me in the hallway. And if you remember back then, Kiss could never be seen without their makeup. And one night after the show, they were getting in their limousine to leave, and I was standing upstairs and there was an opening, and Peter just goes, grab her, she's got a camera! He was so freaked out, and I just walked back into the dressing room area. I should have taken the photos! I would have had the first scoop! I should have got those pictures, doggone it! I ran into Gene and Paul many times over the years, and I saw them when they were at the Kiss Mini Golf grand opening, and it was crazy. It was a frenzy.
You're right. Paul, over here. Down to your right, guys.
And I was really happy I got Paul Stanley over to say a few words with me.
Over here, Paul.
Paul,
Paul, over here.
Paul, please. What are you most excited about to be in Vegas? What do you like to do?
I love being here. I've got a place here, so I come in a few times a month. It's just fun to be here, fun to go out and, see the town all the time, go out and have dinner.
Now, if Gene wasn't in the band anymore, would you guys still tour or do anything?
Oh, sure. The band is bigger than any of us and will continue, beyond us. I mean, at some point we won't be here and the band will.
What's been the best part of your career, what you're most proud of?
Today.
Okay, well, congratulations. Love you, Paul.
Can we talk?
Notice how nobody's talking to Gene, they just want to talk to Paul.
Gene, can I talk to you, please? Gene?
Another great venture you guys
Can you talk to Vegas Rocks TV? Congratulations on everything.
Oh, Debbie, how are you?
Okay. Hey, what I want to know, I asked Paul the same question. Now, if Paul wasn't in the band anymore, would you continue to tour and do everything?
I would, but only as a Jewish stripper.
Okay, all right. All right. Well,
Something new. Where I give the tip back.
Gene, you are so funny.
what are you most proud of in your career?
Quite seriously, without the jokes, to be living in America, because anything is possible in America. I came here as an 8-year-old immigrant, and look where we are now. We're in Las Vegas, the land of dreams. This is the first of a series of international Kiss golf courses. There's already one that's going to go up in Tokyo.
Oh, okay.
So there will be others across the country, and this can only happen in America.
I took the picture of me and Gene when I was 14 to the grand opening that day, and I just wanted to get his reaction.
We're real proud of you. I got something here for you. I want to just give you something.
Is it ticking? Yeah, Gene, it's a bomb! Run!
No. No, and I'm not serving you papers. Okay, now here you are, and with me in 1974 Backstage. Are you ready for this?
But we never...
I'm not in your Polaroid collection. No. Here you go. Do you remember that?
Oh my goodness.
There you are trying to put your hand down my shirt, and I'm like, no, I'm only 14. I had the silver streaks in my hair, and you were just as nice back then as you were. Maybe you were a little nicer back then. I don't know.
If only I wasn't gay.
Now, since you got married, have you retired that Polaroid collection?
Well, it's not so much being retired as being retarded. Just kidding. No, it's the right time for a man to get married is 62.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Before then, we're idiots. We won't. No matter what we say, we're going to continue to lie to you. Don't believe anything we say until we're 60s.
I didn't believe anything you said to me when I was 14.
That's exactly right.
I just kept telling my wrong age. Thank you, Gene. Congratulations.
I also interviewed Gene a couple of other times.
Hello, Gene. Hello, Gene.
Gene is always thrilled to see me.
It's me again. How you doing?
Not.
You don't look very happy to see me.
I'm deliriously happy, but I'm trying to give you my best profile.
Oh, okay. Are you getting that, Al? Okay.
Al, powerful and attractive man. Al, you're going to be very popular in jail. Al, that's some professional equipment you've got there. How big's the camera? This big?
I'd like to, well, it's bigger than the recorder that you just did. Gene, I know you had it hard coming up with the band. Now, if you would have been told you would never make any money with KISS, would you still have done it?
No.
Did you think you were going to make money with it?
No. We were hoping.
What is your greatest fear in life?
Death.
Well, I guess that's the end of the interview.
Wasn't I fantabulous?
I hear your wife and daughter just started a new...
Coming right in the doorway. Look.
Yes, I know. We just talked to Alice. He did a very great interview. He was very talkative.
Unlike moi.
Okay. Well,
I'm just saving my gonads until we go out there.
Well, what do you want to say to your fans here in Vegas for the fundraiser?
Are you cold?
I'm very hot in this, but I want to look good to talk to you.
I think she's got a point.
I always try to look my best to come here and hear one or two words from you. I guess that's all we're going to get. Thank you, Gene Simmons.
More than usual, but we'll do our talking out there. We'll get up and play for the kids, and that's what it's really about.
Sally Steele with VegasRocksTV.com. Thank you, Gene. We enjoyed this little talk.
Until next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed my little KISS memory. I have so many backstage stories of the early days with Aerosmith, Blue Oyster Cult, REO Speedwagon, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, Rush. Don't miss a story. Make sure you subscribe today to youtube.com/Sally Steele, and we will see you next Thursday at 6 p.m. Rock and roll, baby.